everybody, and welcome to CBC Live at TIFF. We are streaming now from the Intercontinental Hotel in Toronto. I'm with Laura Thompson, CBC arts reporter, tired girl after in this fourth day of TIFF.
We both are. I think everybody is.
We're tired but happy because it's a very exciting time.
Yeah.
We have an exciting show today. I'm really excited. You've got a Ryan Gosling interview that you guys snagged, Bradley Cooper, Jennifer Lawrence, and we're looking at tonight's big film, which is, of course,
Midnight's Children. Yeah, Deepa Mehta film. She'll be on the red carpet tonight. And also today in the room on this beautiful long red couch here, we'll have the National Ballet's Guillaume Cote and Ben Sherinian joining us. Now, Ben directed Guillaume in a beautiful little art house film called Lost in Motion, and that's at TIFF this year too.
it's a very short couch, but they are very attractive guys.
Yes, I'm going to make room for them. I might have to sit on someone's
make
lap.
room for them.
Yeah.
So big party last night was Q After Dark party. It was at the Target Hotel.
Yeah.
I was, and I wanted to talk about it because I really thought it was such a great Canadian party, and I've been to a few this year, and I just, it makes you feel really great about the Canadian industry and how it's growing.
Totally.
So it's not just important to be at the George Clooney, Ryan Gosling parties anymore.
We've got our big stars
too.
too.
Ours are pretty great as well. And of course, if you go to cbc.ca/Q, which you know very well, Gian is one of the people that gets those big stars in, like
Closer
CBC
than the
News.
paparazzi. That's what the little ads are saying.
Oh,
for him.
really?
Yeah.
It's great. It's great because it's true.
Night?
Who was there last night? Well, Chaos was DJing, which was really cool.
Awesome.
One of the rising stars was there. Who else was there? Just a flurry of Canadian talent. Of course, our CBC talent was there, Stephen and Chris and George, and it was just a really great night. All right. Speaking of great nights, Red Carpet Roundup. Laura, tell us what you were up to.
Okay, so we are part of CBC News here, and we have a team on the red carpets every single night. 2 carpets a night, sometimes more, minimum 2 we guarantee. So the first one we were at last night was Cloud Atlas. Now, this particular film is a really, really big title for TIFF this year. It stars a lot of big stars, and it's an exploration of how the actions of individual lives impact one another in the past, present, and future. Tom Hanks, here in Toronto at the Film Festival 2012. Big star on the red carpet last night. Lots of glitz and glam, lots of color. Susan Sarandon there, she is right there in a beautiful blue blazer, just like Jamie and I in our twin blazers today. Hugh Grant, walking the carpet, showing his best side.
What I really like about this film is, I'm into the whole past life, future life, and I love those films that just span time, and that's one of them. We're going to talk about Halle Berry, who was also there when we get to our Style Star segment.
So beautiful.
Yeah, but her outfit.
Anyways,
what other red carpets
All right,
did you go
the second red carpet we were at last night, thanks for sharing. The big name that was on that carpet last night was Gwyneth Paltrow, and she runs a website called Goop. Of course, there's all the buzz that she might
great
Goop
lifestyle.
Toronto.
Oh, really?
This year.
You're right.
We're gonna have to wait and see.
I'm talking about Goop on
Tim Robbins
this week.
Yeah, here's a bunch of
Mark
other.
Ruffalo.
Yeah.
That was a nice. I mean, the film did not have as much buzz as some of the other ones at the festival, but it's star-studded. That's for sure.
Sure, there's Gwyneth right there. Look at all those cameras. That's incredible. So crazy. And that's right here in our city. It's so exciting.
She's definitely someone who can draw a huge crowd.
Yeah.
All right, and then Silver Lining Playbook was the other big film of last night.
That's right.
We went to cover that carpet. That was, of course, Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence play love interests in that film, but Robert De Niro plays Bradley Cooper's dad. And, a lot of the actors in the film were really excited to talk about working with him. Bradley Cooper, if you want to go to strombo.com, has told great stories about working with De Niro because, of course, they were in Limitless together.
It's such a complex role for Bradley Cooper, too. I mean, it was so layered. I'm sure that you've seen this one, too. And it's such an interesting kind of departure for him, I think, from stuff that he's done in the
he has
past.
some interesting stories about getting into that with Jennifer Lawrence, and you guys got that interview, and we're going to see it in just a bit.
That's right.
First, we have Chris Tucker, who was on the carpet. Chris Tucker, of course, we know him well from Rush Hour. He hasn't done a movie in about 5 years, and now he got to do this with De Niro, and so he told us what it was like to get back into the game with De Niro. No pressure, so check that out.
Working with him, and I mess up my lines, and he would say, "Don't worry, throw it again. Just throw it again. Throw it again." I was like, "Okay, I'll do it again." Thank you, Mr. Niro.
Yeah. It's nice to have De Niro tell you to relax.
Sure.
TIFF Star Style. There was a lot of it last night, Laura, so whether you like him or not, we are going to get through all of these people. All right, guys, give us our first TIFF star from last night. Who are we looking at?
There we go.
Anna Kendrick. So I really like what she's wearing. It's Ali Saab. I just feel on her frame, it's a little much.
It is a little dark.
I've
isn't it?
interviewed her, and she's so petite. And last year she wore a cocktail dress when she was here for 50/50, and that's more her style, youthful.
Yeah.
All right, what did you think, and what's up next?
Well, I mean, I think she usually plays maybe the girl next door kind of parts. I
Yes.
just saw her in End of Watch yesterday in a screening of that. And again, she's a girl next door. You know, she's the girlfriend that becomes the wife.
Absolutely.
And I thought that was really edgy and also a bit unique for her, and maybe not the best way to go for the red carpet.
Yeah,
though.
it was a little kiss of the Spider-Woman. Okay,
Yeah,
give us
exactly.
someone else. Let's be nice this time. Oh, I'll be nice to him.
Oh.
Jake Gyllenhaal. Well,
His hair's back.
he was her co-star in End of
Watch. Yeah.
What I liked about End of Watch is that he was not a hot cop. It was very real, and he wore
Totally
Oakley
agree.
sunglasses
Yeah.
and had a
It was
shaved
very
head.
gritty.
But here he's absolutely a style
He's so
star.
chill too. He's just like
Yeah.
hanging out.
The beard is nice. I like the beard
Yeah.
on men. Okay, next up. Oh, well, Jennifer Lawrence here at the Silver Linings Playbook
You barely
premiere.
recognize her.
I
She's
know,
so flat ironed. Look
exactly.
at her hair. And, oh my
You're
God, she's
absolutely
very
right. And
thin,
dark
too.
hair. And that is Dior. So Dior
Such a
has
singed
those
waist.
great.
She's beautiful.
Exactly.
Wow.
Dior for a few seasons has been doing those 1950s large
Kind of like a
ball
tie-dye
gown
effect,
silhouettes.
too.
I know. So it's
Really
kind of a
cool.
modern take.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay, who have we got next? There's Kate Hudson.
Oh my
So
gosh.
Kate Hudson, she looks totally
Amazing.
statuesque in this white
Like a
gown.
mermaid almost.
Yeah, it's Alexander
Beautiful
McQueen
shoulder
at the
pads.
Reluctant Fundamentalist premiere.
Kind of
Next
Lady
up.
Gaga-ish.
Yes, but still, you know, it looks a little Tom Ford, even though it is Alexander McQueen. It
And
reminds
she's
me of
not showing. I mean,
Gwyneth
this is
wore to the
very, very
Oscars.
covering. You know, barely any
Yeah.
skin there.
but a lot of it's body conscious,
Yeah,
that's for sure.
that's
Okay,
Yeah.
give me another one. Oh, Canadian star Nina Dobrev. I
So
love her
cute.
in The Vampire Diaries.
She was in the perks of being a wallflower this year.
Yes, and she's wearing Monique Riviere, which is very feminine.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it when a star just decides to really say, I'm going to glam it up. This is a red carpet.
Yeah,
like,
this
I'm
is an
putting on a ball gown.
real effortless look for her.
Oh, here she is
Yeah, that's
later
her
on
again.
in the night. it
Wow,
looks like.
vampy.
Yeah. She's
It's a bit of a different cut there than what we just saw.
I think she's one of
Yeah.
the best bodies in Hollywood.
Oh, sure. I mean, look, she's so petite.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
exactly.
Gorgeous
Tall,
skin. Perfect complexion.
big bust.
Yeah.
Susan Sarandon. Well, I love Susan Sarandon, and I guess this is kind of going the way of Diane
Incognito
Keaton.
look.
But this outfit for me, I mean, I know her to be such a beautiful woman with a beautiful body, and I
Yeah.
just don't think it did it for her.
Yeah, agreed.
Have we got any
I'm
more?
with you there.
Bradley Cooper. Well, you
Okay.
know what? This is an
He's
improvement
smiley. He's cute.
from A Place Beyond the Pines, what he wore that night. I think for a man, it's nice to do, just to be a bit more formal, hit a very
He's
loose
sharp
collar.
though. Very clean cut look. I like his
Yeah.
hair. Kind of like a little.
And that was Tom Ford. So
Oh, okay.
guys, can't go wrong
No.
in a Tom Ford suit
Go with
ever.
Tom. Yeah.
Oh, we just saw a snippet of Halle Berry, and
Oh,
I
there
think
she is.
she is gorgeous
Love
as she
that.
is.
So that's like a.
You love
kind of
that?
Like a,
I
well,
am-
I love
we
like
are
the kind of
diametrically
snake
opposed
skin,
on
sort
this
of like
one.
translucent sort of pants there. Oh, like, I mean, she can't look bad. She looks edgy.
We'll agree to disagree on this one, but that blouse is Monique Riviere. I think
I think
the
she'll
suit
stand
is a
out on
little
the
much.
carpet with that.
I want to see her in a gown.
Sure, that's fair.
Do we have anyone else, or are we moving on? I think we are. Oh, we have Emma Watson at the Perks of Being a Wallflower premiere in Erdem. There she
Oh,
is. Now
this is
that is the kind of
predictable.
thing I want to. Really?
Yeah, I expect her to show up in this. You know, like a cute little dress. She should be doing something maybe a little, I don't know.
This is what I want to see Anna Kendrick in. This short, fashion-forward.
Fair enough. But
Yeah.
then Anna Kendrick should be in that dress.
I guess so.
Okay.
Yeah. But Emma Watson's a big fashion star. All right. So tweet us at TIFF12 Best Dressed to tell us who you liked the best, and we are giving away beauty prize packs from L'Oreal. They're worth over $100. Laura, this is the
Yes.
part I've been waiting for. You guys talked to Ryan Gosling yesterday.
We did talk to Ryan Gosling. Now, as you can imagine, this is a bit of a tricky interview to land because he is in high demand. And also, he's, doing interviews with Eva Mendes. And, the two of them are quite the couple at the moment. Very hot couple, very big buzz couple here in Toronto. We did score an interview with him. They're in A Place Beyond the Pines. And we have a clip from our interview where he explains why he wanted to play the part of the motorcycle stunt driver in this movie. Have a listen.
I wanted to rob banks, but I'm scared of jail, so I would never do it. But I've fantasized about it, and I years ago, way before I started Blue Valentine, was talking to Derek, and I told him that if I was going to rob banks, I would rob them on a motorcycle, and then I would drive it into the back of a U-Haul. And I'd heard about this Israeli guy that had done that, and he'd done like over 50 bank robberies and got away with it, so it seemed like the way to go. And Derek he said, I just wrote a script about that. That's so crazy. So it felt like, it was the only chance I was going to get to actually rob banks.
Okay. Did you notice the Halloween Hunt t-shirt?
Yeah, I did.
I love that Ryan Gosling has such a taste for the macabre. His band is very much songs about zombies and death, and you should check them out, like on Groove Shark or
He's
something.
dangerous.
It's really fun.
He always brings the
subtle and
unexpected.
dangerous.
Yeah,
Exactly. Okay, so you also caught up with the stars of Silver Linings Playbook, not just on the red carpet, but in an interview together.
Yep.
So I'm really interested
in a
in seeing that.
one-on-two interview, we had one of our producers go out and interview Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence yesterday to talk about their romantic role in Silver Linings Playbook. Now, again, like I said earlier, this is a very layered, intricate film, and the relationship is so interesting and not one you would expect necessarily. So it's
two people who are, struggling with, mental difficulty, anxiety, etc., and finding each other.
Yeah, and they make that work out.
Trying to get over all that, or at least live it together.
So Bradley said, it's one thing he had to do for sure was learn how to get comfy really fast. So here, let him say it for himself.
See it.
Jackpot working with Jennifer. Anytime you get to a place where you have to be vulnerable with a stranger, and that's what it was exactly. We didn't really know each other at all, and next thing you know, her hands are under my sweaty armpits, and we're dancing.
It was wonderful.
That you have to have a strategy.
I hate my illness, and I want to control it.
There's a scene in the doctor's office when he has an episode, and his performance is so heartbreaking because you can see how sad he is that he can't control himself and that he doesn't want to be this way and he wants to fix himself. And I found that heartbreaking and endearing at the same time. And then there's Tiffany, who has probably the same level of struggle to be normal, but she's just kind of accepted it and is just like, this is the way I am. And it's just kind of two different people trying to deal with it. He's trying to fix himself and be like everybody else, and she's just trying to stay away from being like that.
All right, now we have our very special guests who have magically appeared in our makeshift hotel room studio here. We've got Guillaume Cote and Ben Sherinian. Now they're responsible for the film Lost in Motion, which is at TIFF this year. So what inspired you to make this film?
Lost in Motion is our second collaboration working together. Our first collaboration was in Florence, Italy, where we created a new media ballet performance together, and it was an obvious next step for us to create. Our second collaboration was a film that we did for the screen. And as I watched Guillaume perform for so long, I just wanted to just tap into the beauty and the athleticism found in his movement, and I wanted to translate his movement into art into film and cinema and storytelling.
So Guillaume, well, you're one of the stars of the National Ballet, and in this short film by Ben, you're a man who's trying to express his inner imagination through his dance.
Yeah.
But you have no set. You barely have a stitch on. I thought you were naked at the beginning, to tell you, as you were coming
It felt
up.
like I was for the filming.
How was this
especially.
different than your usual performances?
Well, to be honest, I think the idea behind the whole thing began because we were talking, and the most beautiful moment I think in an artist's life is the moment before you go on stage. That moment when you're trying to get ready and you're sort of in your zone, and you forget about the world around you. You forget that you're, in a way, you forget you're even a human being. You kind of just go for it, and you just kind of, you go through the motions, and you're transported somewhere else where, there's no sets, there's no costume. It's as if you are kind of naked, and you're vulnerable because what you're going to give to the audience is something beautiful and vulnerable in that way, right? So you kind of forget about the world, you get into the zone, and before the curtain opens, you're sort of in this climax of in a catharsis in a way. So this whole film came out of that idea that we wanted to capture what it's like to be in the artist's mind, right? Right before you that curtain opens, and you're swamped by stress and all that. So I think we did a great job of sort of capturing that moment, and I think that's why it really speaks to me also, and that's why it's close to my heart in the sense, because I feel like it's not only just visually beautiful, but it does capture what I feel before I go on stage.
I think you did a great job as well, and you did appear to be more than human. So for us to see, a little under 3 minutes of absolute perfection, how much shooting and dancing actually happens?
Yeah, well, that's a good question. We shot this over one day in a green screen studio. Not many people know this, but we did shoot this on green screen, and
Oh, wow.
yeah. And we shot this using a Phantom camera at 1,000 frames a second, which achieved those beautiful slow motion.
Wait, green screen, but
yes.
you need space. Is this a green
A
studio?
green screen, yeah, a green screen studio, a large
wow.
green screen studio, and we recreated this vast expanse, this world that you see there. And all that world, that art-directed world, really reflects that solitude and that loneliness that one dancer feels before going up on stage. And all those visual effects that you see there are meant to complement and augment the perfection and beauty found in his movement.
It's so raw and intimate, and obviously such a personal project. And what's it like for you performing in front of cameras rather than, you know, the grand theater audiences you're used to?
Yeah, I think, you know what, it's really stressful to be captured on camera dancing, actually, because especially with slow motion and stuff like that. 'cause
More
you
We should
see-
do a demo right here.
live.
Just test these cameras.
We've got the
Clear the
space.
table.
Yeah, it's more stressful, I think, because it's forever, right? It's captured,
Yeah.
and somehow memory is a beautiful thing, because when you go see a show, people will remember it. Well, hopefully more beautiful than it was, or how they felt, how the emotion that was sort of transmitted to them is what they'll take away more than the actual exact picture of what they saw, right? Because they just remember it. But what's beautifully interesting about film is that not only are they moved, but they can go back and watch it again and actually depict the visuals that they just saw. So it's very stressful. Technically, it was very hard, and it was a very, very long day. And also with the Phantom camera at the time, I think now the technology is different, but at the time, we had to shoot in 8 seconds.
8-second intervals.
Really?
Yeah, so basically it became a bit of creative math on set, where we made sure, you know, we'd start and stop at just the right moments and picked up where we last left off for the second interval and so on and so forth. But it was put together with an incredible team. John DeVries, incredible editor from School Editing, an incredible visual effects team, Crush VFX.
Great
amazing
visual effects, because
Yes.
I couldn't tell how it was pieced together, right? And that's a good thing.
Well, that is a good thing, yeah.
Speaking of being on camera, this is not the first time you delved into television and film this year. Of course, you're one of the stars of Romeo's and Juliet's on CBC, where we went into the National Ballet's major production and, of course, did a kind of a reality doc about that experience and creating that show. So what was that like? What's it been like to be on camera so much?
Actually, you know what the wonderful thing about being on camera is that I think people capture, and I think the projects that I've been part of, like Romeo's and Juliet's, which was a brilliantly put together sort of hour show, and I think what was interesting is that people start to see a dancer in a different way, and I think that's the most beautiful part of it. I think because, you know, that when they come and see the ballet, and it's so funny because after the show, people always tell me like, "Oh, you look taller on stage. Or, you look better on stage." You know, it's like, yeah, that's the whole point.
Says that to you.
Yeah, you
You
look
know,
great.
but the
I'm
thing is,
right in front of you.
the cool part is that, you know, like with those Romeos and Juliet, they see that we're just vulnerable and really, you know, just regular people who just like really work really hard, and it's a craft, right? Like it's the craft of making everything look great, and then it's working endless hours to try to put together something, and we're so passionate about it, and that's why I think
There's a sequel. You already, this was your second time working together, you have a third coming up.
Yes, so we're really excited about our third collaboration. We won't say too much, but it is definitely a sequel to Lost in Motion, and it will feature the wonderfully talented Heather Ogden from the National Ballet of Canada. And
Who was also in Romeo's and Juliet's. And
That's right.
If you want to see more of the two of you, she's your wife, you can go to cbc.ca/live, because we've spent some fun times with you guys. So we've got all those videos there. So can you tell us really quickly before we go how we can check out your film and other short films in the TIFF program?
Yes, we are. So Lost in Motion will be in program 3, which is scheduled to play on Monday at 6:45 p.m. And then Tuesday again at 12:15. So there's 2 screenings, Monday and Tuesday.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, guys, and thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming to join us.
Yeah,
Thanks very much.
You comfy squished in there, Laura.
I'm almost on their lap, so I'm pretty comfortable.
All right, so although, the biggest game in town right now here is TIFF, if you travel a little west in the country, we've got the CCMAs, the Canadian Country Music Awards, tonight on CBC, and arts reporter Deanna Sumanak is there, and she was told that the order of the day is country glam. So we followed her to a salon here in Toronto to find out, how does that happen? Check it out.
Let's talk about this country chic. We both joked about that southern saying, the higher the hair.
The closer to God, right?
Right. Now, does that still hold true, that bigger is better, or has it changed?
I think so. I mean, you definitely see a lot of volume in country music hair still. You also see a little bit of waviness. Twist is again another trend for fall. For your hairstyle, we're going to incorporate all three of those into your hot hair look.
Let's get going.
Let's get going.
Great.
Well, first of all, we curled everything so that we get a little bit of this waviness happening, and that really makes it easier to set. And then we added all of the volume, so we want that really big poof right at the top. And then just sort of like really, really casually, just mostly with your fingers, like finger styling, twist it, and then just start pushing bobby pins in until it's secure. You really don't want to use too much comb, you don't want to use too much brush, because it really has to look soft and piecey. Was blind, but now I see.
Yeah.
Ooh, right on. See what this hair brings out?
Amazing.
So other than the fact that I'm now kind of contemplating a side career as a country star, thanks to the wonderful Christian Hayden, my hair looks fantastic. It's teased, it's primed, my voice is all warmed up. Make sure to watch CBC, tune into CBC Live for the live stream of all the action, all the stars on the backstage red carpet, and I'll be bringing you all the news. Thanks for watching.
Okay, everybody, now let's check out what is trending at TIFF. All right, so last night was Gion's party, and I've got some pics of that. Of course, there was loud standing ovations for two of the films last night. We got a pic here of the standing ovation at Cloud Atlas. Here, can you see that, Laura?
Okay, yeah, I can see
Yeah,
that.
so
Oh, good.
yeah, it's nice when people share, because I guess they get excited. Oh, I've got that again. And let me pull up Johnny Depp. It's fine. I've got my links going here. There was so much to pull last night.
There he is.
Yeah, so, I
You
mean...
just can't look not cool, right?
I was just going to say the
He
same
can wear, I don't know,
thing.
pajamas, and he would still look just
Yeah,
rocking all the
he's
time.
a total
Yeah.
rock star. All right, so who else do we have? Selena was hanging out with Bieber's siblings.
Oh, awesome. You know that CBC local news in Toronto here caught her live on the red carpet on Friday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's really,
and she
really
said,
cool.
you know, Bieber wasn't there. They thought maybe he would be, but she was like, you know, tonight's my night.
It is her night.
Fair enough.
Okay, speaking of tonight, Laura, what is the big film tonight is Midnight's Children.
That's right.
This is a film that we're really excited about. You know, when there's a film that has such big buzz at the festival and it's a Canadian one and we get to be so involved in it, it's really a special experience for us as part of the media, I would say. Do you feel the same way? To
Yeah,
have so
totally.
much access?
We've known about this one for a long time. It's based on a novel by Salman Rushdie, and it's a really big deal. It's a Deepa Mehta film. We love Deepa Mehta. She always puts together really amazing, you know, such imaginative films, and this is definitely no exception. So I've seen this one. I'm going to be on the carpet tonight.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Speaking of Deepa Mehta, you know, she is someone that we've been following for so many years, and we just want to get our audience caught up, so we have a profile of her work.
Yeah.
Midnight's Children.
They said it couldn't be done, but at this year's Toronto International Film Festival, Deepa Mehta is proving them wrong as she brings Salman Rushdie's acclaimed novel, Midnight's Children, to the big screen. For Deepa, every project worth doing is a labor of love.
If I don't do this movie, I'm gonna die.
Deepa's first feature, Sam and Me, debuted at the Cannes Film Festival, but Deepa has since premiered 7 features here in Toronto at TIFF.
I think you're a pompous fool.
The first of Deepa's acclaimed Elements trilogy, Fire, was released in 1996, followed by Earth and Water. The trilogy garnered much acclaim, including an Oscar nomination for Best Foreign Language Film for Earth.
I would say at least 40% of the women go through this.
But it was Deepa's light-hearted Bollywood Hollywood that won her her first Genie Award.
Thank you so much.
More than 30 years after it was published, Salman Rushdie says that the film version of Midnight's Children is exactly as he and Deepa wanted it to be, and the buzz around the movie is palpable. And of course, the buzz for Midnight's Children did start quite a while ago, and we got to catch up with Deepa Mehta earlier this year to talk to her firsthand about adapting this incredible novel by Salman Rushdie. Check that tape out.
To bring Midnight's Children to film was very challenging. I sort of approached it with blinkers on. I did not use my peripheral vision at all.
By the time I tumbled into the war, it was all over.
I said, this is what I'm going to focus on, and because there is so much that it comes with. It's a book that's a booker of bookers, and it's Salman Rushdie's first book that's being made into a film, and it's also a book that's so beloved by most.
Midnight's Children, you and me.
But I sort of went for the story, and Salman actually let me go for that, which is a story that intrigues me massively because it's the story of hope. It's about when countries disseminate, when sectarian war happens, how do you maintain your equilibrium? And I think it's very relevant today to different cultures.
What an incredible woman. It's true. Everything is a labor of love for her.
Yeah, I can't wait to see her on the carpet tonight. So also in that film, we've got Anita Majumdar and Zabe Sheikh. Now, he, of course, is one of our own, Little Mosque on the Prairie.
Absolutely.
And he was at the Q party last night, right, that you were at?
He was.
Yeah.
He's, a really busy guy this festival because, of course, doing press for a film takes a lot of appearances, a lot of interviews. And so he's leading up to this huge premiere tonight where everyone's going to see a film that he himself has not seen yet.
That's crazy.
Exactly. I've said I've seen it. And we will talk about that film tomorrow. We'll talk about what we think about it. But first, this is how Zabe is feeling leading up to tonight.
Exhausting, tiring in the sense that there's been so much great press about it, and we've had to have reach out to so many people and talk to them about the film that and because I haven't seen it, and so many people have, including some of my castmates, I don't know what I'm getting myself into, but I'm looking forward to every second of it. And the fact that it's here at TIFF, my hometown, it's amazing. I love it, and I can't wait to be there with all my 2,000 of my closest friends watching the film.
All right, so if you haven't checked out the Midnight's Children website, the website for the movie yet, I think they've done a great job, and when you go to it, immediately there is a pop-up message from Salman Rushdie about the film, and he said that really he and Deepa, they made it exactly the way they wanted it to be. We said that in the profile, and those were his words, and I just think it's a great primer for the movie, something to check out.
So rewarding for them.
Absolutely, and for us, I've seen it. It's a great time. So tell us what else is going on tonight.
All right, so I already mentioned I'm going to be on the Midnight's Children carpet tonight.
Yes.
And after that, The Company You Keep is going to be our second carpet selection tonight, and that, of course, is with Robert Redford. So he's a big deal. He was here last year, too. We just love him to see him in Toronto. Obviously, a really big interview get for us, too, and so we'll definitely clip him on the carpet.
You get him on the carpet, and we will see him tomorrow, of course.
I hope so. Now, also, Shia LaBeouf is also in that film, The Company You Keep, but I've heard that he's, not in town because he's away working on another project. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe someone's pulled some strings and they've worked it out so he can make it on the carpet
So
tonight.
that everyone knows, you never know who's going to show up
You
on
don't.
a red carpet.
That's so true.
Right?
Yeah.
And then there's friends
Expect
of the stars,
totally.
girlfriends,
Just like
dates.
how we thought maybe Bieber would show up with Selena.
I did think
Yeah.
that.
So there's like it's all access. Friends
Exactly.
of friends of friends. Midnight's Children tonight should actually be a crowded carpet because that cast is enormous. And
It
if those
is.
people bring +1s, can you imagine?
Because the
It's gonna
film
be
spans
crazy.
decades.
It's
so.
insane. I know. So also, The Company You Keep tonight, maybe Nick Nolte, probably Susan Sarandon. We'll get to
I wonder if Susan
analyze
Sarandon
her
went to
fashion again
spin
tomorrow.
the ping pong, so she is one of
yeah,
the
sure.
owners
In New York.
of that chain.
Yeah.
Spin, and we have one here.
It
I wonder
makes
if she
sense
hung
if
out.
she did.
Actually,
maybe.
on Strombo.com, there's a great clip. Check it out. Susan Sarandon talking about playing ping pong and how she got to love it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, CCMAs.
Yes.
So again, Deanna Sumanak is at the CCMAs.
We miss her here.
If you guys can bring up my MacBook here, I want to show you that we've got a lot of CCMAs coverage tonight on our CCMA's page on CBC Live, we will be live streaming from the red carpet. We've got the times on the website. Deanna Sumanek and Tom Power of CBC Music will be hosting that. And then they're also going to be live streaming from backstage. And one of the reasons why that's really cool is because there are some major stars there tonight. Taylor Swift is going to be there, Miranda Lambert, Jason Aldean, and of course some major Canadian country music stars like Dean Brody, Gord Bamford. I think it's going to be a great time, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen behind the scenes for them at like a huge award show.
From the Hollywood
like
glam
that.
to the country glam.
Exactly.
We get to cover both sides.
Exactly. And Deanna has the hairdo to do it. And of course, CBC Music also has some great CCMA primer articles. It's a great site to learn about music if you don't know it yet. All right. I'm going to remind you about CBC Live social media. We are cbc.ca/live. At CBC on Twitter. Tweet us. If we're out somewhere tweeting pics of stars and you want to ask them a question, ask us and we'll get it for you. How do we follow CBC News and CBC Arts?
Well, CBC Arts, we have a website, cbc.ca/arts or /TIFF. Both will get you to all of our TIFF coverage. And we connect with CBC Live, and I personally am at LT on Twitter, so you can follow me there. At Deanna Sumanek, at Glassner on Film, at Zuleka Nathu. We're all on social media, so it's not hard to figure out what we're doing at any point of the day.
Very cool. I am at Jamie Ordolis. And we're going to be back here tomorrow with more red carpets, hopefully some Robert Redford, and more Midnight's Children, 12:30 ET. Thanks, Laura. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.